Hello and welcome, my dear students. We will start with a new chapter, variation. Now, this chapter is very important from the point of view of 8th standard syllabus as well as various competitive exams. Various entrance exams questions are based on variation chapter. To begin with, we will start with a problem given in the textbook itself. Let's recall. If the rate of notebooks is rupees 240 per dozen, what is the cost of 3 notebooks? Okay. So, cost of rate of notebooks is 240 rupees per dozen. How many notebooks will come in 1 dozen? 1 dozen bananas or 1 dozen books. 1 dozen is always equal to 12 numbers. Okay, we know, no? 1 dozen is equal to 12. So, 12 books cost 240 rupees. What will be the cost of 3 books is asked. So, how will we solve it? Simple maths if you apply. Cost of 1 dozen notebooks is equal to, cost of 1 dozen notebook was 240 rupees. Okay. So, therefore, cost of one notebook. In 1 dozen, there are 12 notebooks. So, 12 notebooks cost 240. What will be the cost of one notebook? 240 upon 12, which is equal to 20 rupees. So, if you know cost of one notebook, you can find out cost of 3 notebooks. Therefore, cost of 3 notebooks is equal to 20 into 3, which is equal to 60 rupees. Okay. Similarly, let us take the remaining part of the sum. So, 12 notebooks cost 240, 1 dozen. So, how many for 3 notebooks? We got for 3, 60 rupees. So, in the first box you will write 60. What will be the cost of 9 notebooks? How many for 9 notebooks? 9 into 20, that is 180 will come here. What will be the cost of 24 notebooks? So, I'll just make a box and I'll write the numbers appropriately. So, you have 12, 240. For 3 notebooks we got 60. For 9 notebooks cost will be 180. 9 into 20, no? 1 notebook 20 rupees. So 9 notebook 20 into 9. Next they are asking 24 notebooks. 1 notebook 20. 24 twos are 48 and 0. 24 notebooks will cost 480 rupees. Now, next question is 50 notebooks. 50 notebooks. 50 notebooks will cost 50 into 20, 5 twos are 10 and 2 zeros, 1000 rupees. For 1 notebook we got 20 rupees. 1 notebook 20 rupees. So, this box is already given. So, similarly, these will be the answers, right? Now we will form a relation for this question. That is, this was your previous standard simple maths. Now we are coming to the chapter variation. How is this related to variation? As the number of books increases, the cost will also increase. Number of books increases. So, upward arrow. The cost will also increase. Just see here, 12 books 240, 3 books 60, 9 books 180. Least number, 1 book is costing only 20. As the number of books increases, the cost is also increasing. When one quantity increases, the other quantity also increases. You call it as direct variation. Okay, very important part. When one quantity increases, the other quantity also increases. You call it as direct variation. Other than that, what are the other examples of direct variation? Just compare the radius of circle and the area of circle. Compare the radius of circle and the area of circle. As the radius, suppose the radius is only this much, the area will be this much. As the radius increases, the area will also increase. So this is also direct variation. Now, as the cost of books will increase with the number of books, same way, as the radius increases, area of circle will also increase. Or, as the radius increases, the circumference, that is the boundary, this will also increase. For smaller radius, the circumference is less. For bigger radius, the circumference is more. So, all these are direct variation. Another example of direct variation, you can also think along with me. What comes to my mind is, as the liters of petrol that you fill in your vehicle increases, more distance you can travel, right? Now, just to see this relation, one more thing we will learn from this direct variation. That is, if I take the ratio means one quantity upon the other quantity. Now 12 upon 240, these all ratios I'll take. 12 upon 240, ratio means you have to divide. So 12 ones are 12 twos are 24 and 0. Further you can't divide, no? So what is the ratio or proportion? What is the ratio that I'm getting? 1:20. Similarly, I'll divide this. 3 upon 60. 3 ones are, 3 twos are and 20. 1:20. Same ratio. Like that, any ratio you take. Let me take 24 and 480. If it is direct variation, you can see that the ratios are same. 1:20, 1:20, 1:20. Ratios are same. We call it as in proportion. For direct variation, the ratio will be in proportion. If the ratios are same, we call it as ratios in proportion. Hope you understood. This is one thing about direct variation. For direct variation, one quantity upon the other quantity, the ratio will always be in proportion. The ratio will always be the same. One more thing that you have to remember is, for direct variation, we use the symbol. What is the symbol? We call it as alpha. The symbol for direct variation is alpha. Alpha. For example, let us consider number of apples and its weight, okay, or mass, weight. For the time being, we'll consider weight. Actually, it is mass. Let the number of apples be x. Why are we giving variables? So that we don't have to write this number of apples, n number of times. So, let us assume number of apples to be x and weight we will denote by y. Now, what is the relation or variation between number of apples and weight? As the number of apples increases, the weight will also increase. So, how will you show the relation? How will you show the variation? X varies directly to y. This way you will show the relation or the variation. X varies directly to y. Now, when you solve this, when you remove the proportionality sign, now from here you have to pay attention. As you remove the proportionality sign for direct variation, you will write it this way. X is equal to ky, which means for direct variation, what did you do? Remember the previous sum that we did? Sum, we will learn it with the help of variation. Here we applied simple mathematics. Now we will learn it in the way of variation. So let the number of notebooks be x and the cost be y. So how will we show the relation? X varies directly to Y. How will you read it as? If something is given this way, X varies directly to Y. And what did we do it for direct variation? We divided, no? Number of books to cost. When we divided, we got all the ratio to be same. So X, when you divide by Y, you will get the same ratio. 1 is to 20, 1 is to 20. Let us denote that ratio by K. So this K is always constant. K is always constant. So if I take this Y to the opposite side, I will get, therefore, X is equal to KY. Put it in a box. X is equal to Y goes to that side, KY. So this is called as equation of variation. This is called as equation of variation. And what is the constant? K is the constant. When will you get this constant K? X upon Y. You have to divide. Okay? So see here, for direct variation, you will divide X by Y. And that answer will be a constant. And if you take this Y to the opposite side, you get a equation X is equal to KY. This is called as equation of variation. If they ask you equation of variation, you have to present the answer this way. And if they ask you just constant, you divide and get the constant. Understood? Okay. So this way, by applying all this, we will solve the sum. Now I'll give you a trick to remember. For direct variation, direct starts with D. Whenever there is direct variation, you have to divide. That also is D. D for direct, D for divide. Like this you remember, and we will solve the practice set. Now let's see the practice set 7.1. In that, as you can see, the first question. Write the following statements using symbol of variation. Just you have to think and write which type of variation is this and write it in symbol. Circumference of circle is, now here they have already given. It is directly proportional. So you just have to write it in using symbol. Circumference, they have denoted the letter C, as you can see. Circumference C. For circumference, they have used C. And for radius, they have used R. So how will you write it in symbol? Answer, practice set. Practice set 7.1. First one. Circumference is C, varies directly to R. As the radius increases, circumference will increase. No? So they both are directly proportional. So this way you will write it in symbol. So simple. Now second question. Consumption of petrol L in a car and distance travelled by the car D are in direct variation. So more liters of petrol, more will be the distance, directly proportional. L directly proportional to D. Understood? Okay. So first question is solved this way. Now we come on to the second question. See the second question. Complete the following table considering the cost of apples and their number are in direct variation. Means more the number of apples, more will be the cost. Direct variation. We have to complete this box. Same like that notebook sum. So I have copied the table. Now let's solve. Number of apples and cost of apples. What is the variation? X varies directly to Y. You will write first this way. Always remember, when the variation is direct, you will divide. So let us divide. Therefore, X divided by Y will be a constant K. One sum if I solve, the remaining one, you will find it easy. Now remember, you have to solve it by variation method, not by applying arithmetic method. Okay? So let us start. Do you know any quantity of X? Yes, you know X is 1. and y is 8. So you got k. How much is k? 1 upon 8. So you got the k constant is 1 upon 8. Whichever numbers you divide, this 1 upon 8 will remain same. That's why we call it as constant. No, value is not going to change. You can do mind calculation for this and see 4 divided by 32. 4 ones are 4 eights are, no? So 1 upon 8 you are getting correct. So this box is already filled. Now let us solve this one. Okay. Here we don't know x, but we know y. So let us apply x is equal to question mark and y is 56. Y is equal to 56. Apply it here. In place of x, write x only because we don't know. In place of y, write 56 is equal to, how much is k? Do you know the value of constant? Yes, just now we got it. 1 upon 8. Substitute. Now do cross multiplication. Therefore, 8x is equal to 56. Therefore, x is equal to 56 upon 8. X is equal to 8 sevens are 56. Correct, no? 8 ones are 8 sevens are. So we got the first answer. So here you will put 7. Now how to check whether our answer is correct or not? 7 divided by 56 and see. 7 ones are 7 eights are. Yeah, you are getting the constant 1 upon 8. That means it is correct. Okay, so that we did. Now this one. X is 12. X is equal to 12 and y we don't know. And what relation we know? X upon y is equal to k. In place of x, you will put 12. In place of y, you will put y is equal to k is 1 upon 8. Now cross multiply. 12 into 8 is equal to y. Therefore, y is equal to 8 twos are 16, carry 1, 9. 96. So here in place of y, you will write 96. Last one you try and get the answer and then check from me. Okay. So in the last sum, x we don't know, y we know it as 160. In the last sum, x we don't know, y is 160. So x upon y is equal to k. X will be x only, y is 160 is equal to 1 upon 8. Cross multiply. 8 into x is equal to 160. Therefore, x is equal to 160 upon 8. X is equal to 20. Okay, or you will write 20. Fine. So, this way you will solve the sums. Same method you will apply. Let's move on to the third sum. The third question is, if m varies directly to n, okay, you will read it as m varies directly to n and m is equal to 154, n is equal to 7, find the value of m when n is equal to 14. First, they have given the value of m and n and we know they are in direct variation. So, all these details, let us write it down. They have given m varies directly to n. And when m is equal to 154, n is equal to 7. M is varying directly to n. So, how will you write? M upon n is equal to k. Now, you will divide for direct variation, which is equal to k constant. Now, in place of m, put 154. In place of n, put 7. Find out k. 7 ones are, 7 twos are 14. 7 twos are 14. The constant of variation. This is not going to change. Now, let us find the values for the given question. They have given, find the value of m. M we don't know, so put question mark. When n is equal to 14. Copy the same. In place of m, you will write m only because we don't know m. In place of n, write 14 is equal to, what is k? K is 22. Okay, K is 22. So therefore, cross multiply now. M is equal to, 14 will go to this side. 22 into 14. Multiply. So you got M is equal to 308. 308. So this is the answer. Highlight it. Over that sum. Now we move on to the fourth question. If n varies directly as m, complete the following table. N varies directly as m or m varies directly as n makes no difference. Okay? You can write anyhow, but as you are writing, you divide accordingly. If you are writing n first and then m, so n upon m. If you are writing m first and then n, m upon n. Now here they have written m first and then n. So we will go according to the table given here. This table we will draw. So first draw this table and try to do it on your own and then check the answers from me. Okay? Okay, so I have copied the table. Now let me solve. M varies directly to n. I'll write this way. M varies directly to n. So therefore, if it is direct, I will divide. When I divide, I'll get a constant k. If you want, you can put it in a box because every time we are going to use this. So now, they have given the values of m and n. Here also we know m and n. Here also we know m and n. Any one value you can take to find out the constant k. I will take these numbers, the first given numbers. So I'll write when m is equal to 3, what is n? N is equal to 12. When m is 3, n is 12. Now divide 3 by 12 is equal to k. So therefore, 3 ones are 3 fours are. So you got k is equal to 1 upon 4. The most important part. That is we got the constant. Now every time for any values of m or n, constant will remain the same. 1 upon 4. So one by one we will find the values. Okay. So we will write m is 6.5. When m is equal to 6.5, what will be n is the question. All the boxes I have highlighted. So in place of m, you write 6.5. In place of n, we don't know. So n is equal to, what is k? K is 1 upon 4. Now cross multiply. Therefore, 6.5 into 4 is equal to n. So therefore, 6.5 into 4, 5 fours are 20, carry 2. 6 fours are 24, 26 and a decimal point. So you got n is equal to 26. First answer we got 26. Now this one that I'll solve here. So we know m is not known. N is given as 28. Now n is 28, m we don't know. What do you know? M upon n is equal to, what is the constant k? The constant k is 1 upon 4. 1 upon 4. M I'll write as it is. N is 28 is equal to 1 upon 4. Cross multiply is equal to 28 upon 4. Therefore, m is equal to 7. Got the answer? So this also done. Now the third one. M is 1.25. Don't be scared with the decimal numbers, children. Very easy. M is 1.25. N is asked. Relation is m upon n is equal to k. In place of m, you will write 1.25. N as it is. K is 1 upon 4. Cross multiply. 1.25 into 4 is equal to n into 1, n. Multiply. 1.25 into 4 means how much you will get? 1.25 into 4 you will get 5. That is n is equal to 5. So I hope you understood, children, how to solve direct variation sums. Now we go on to the fifth sum. The fifth question is, y varies directly as square root of x. So let us write it down. Y varies directly with square root of x. Okay, written square root of x. When x is equal to 16, y is equal to 24. Right. When x is equal to 16, y is equal to 24. This also I wrote. Now see the remaining part of the question. Find the constant of variation and equation of variation. So constant means k is asked and equation is also asked. So let's start. If it is direct variation, now see how we have written y varies directly to square root of x. So therefore, y divided by upon square root of x is equal to k. No? For direct variation you will divide, no? So y upon square root of x is equal to k. As it is written, same way you have to divide. So this y is coming first, so y upon square root of x is equal to constant k. Now substitute, how much is y? Y is 24 upon square root of, how much is x? 16 is k. So therefore 24 upon, how much is square root of 16? 4 is equal to k. Can you divide? 4 ones are 4 6. So how much you got k? K you got as 6. So the constant of variation is 6. You will write is the constant of variation. Okay? You need this type of sums every time. So this is the constant of variation. Now one more question. The last part of the question is find the equation of variation. Just to put this 6 here, that is, equation means it should consist of a variable and constant, no? Okay, so this is where you can see that I'll write y as it is upon root of x is equal to, how much is the constant that you got? 6. So in place of k, you write 6. Now take this root x to opposite side. So you will write, therefore, y is equal to square root of x into 6 or 6 into square root of x. Put it in a box. Is the equation of variation. Is the equation of variation. Okay, that's it. Constant is asked and equation. Equation means there should be an equal to sign and variable. Okay, so we have variable y and x. Understood how to get the equation of variation? Whatever condition you have here, no? In place of constant, you put the value of the constant. Take one variable to the opposite side. I took root of x to the opposite side. So I got y is equal to 6 square root of x. Or you can also write it as y is equal to square root of x into 6. Anyway, both are correct. Okay, my dear children, I hope you understood. Now we go to the last question. Okay, so now we have a word problem here. The total remuneration paid to laborers. Remuneration means salary. The total salary paid to laborers employed to harvest soya bean is in, these laborers will harvest soya bean. So that remuneration or salary that the laborers are getting is direct variation with the number of laborers. So which are the two quantities in variation? Total remuneration paid to laborers is directly proportional with number of laborers. Now what is the magic of this chapter variation? You don't have to write heavy steps. Directly you can take the remuneration to laborers as x, number of laborers as y. Variable, your choice. You can select any variable. Okay, so let's start. If the remuneration of 4 laborers is 1000 rupees, find remuneration of 17 laborers. Okay, so this we will apply variation and we will get it easily. So let's start with the introduction part. What we decided? Remuneration of laborers be X, number of laborers be Y. So write it. Let remuneration. Let remuneration of laborers be X, number of laborers be Y. Okay, this is our choice. Okay, this is our choice. Any variable we can select. If in the question they have written X or Y or M or N, you have to write that only. Here, this is a word problem, so this is our choice. So we selected remuneration of laborers to be X, salary to be X, and number of laborers to be Y. And without any doubt, this is direct variation, no? Even if it is not given in the question, you should be able to find out which type of variation is this. More the number of people, more you will have to pay the salary. More the number of laborers, more will be the remuneration. So how will I write? Therefore, X varies directly to Y. X varies directly to Y. If it is direct variation, I will divide. D for direct, D for divide. X upon Y will be a constant. Tada, put it in a box. Very important part of the sum. Now see the remaining part. If the remuneration of 4 laborers, so number of laborers we had taken Y, no? So Y is equal to 4 and X. What is the salary? The remuneration is 1000 rupees. So salary is 1000. Okay, let us put it in this equation. In place of X, put 1000 upon 4 is equal to K. So therefore, 4 ones are, 4 twos are 8, 2 0, 4 5s are 20 and 0. So we got K is equal to 250. Constant we got. If you get the constant, then any number, simply, easily you will get the answer. So this is the constant. Now the remaining part of the question. For 4 laborers को 1000 rupees दिया, तो what will be the remuneration of 17 laborers? Find the salary paid to 17 laborers. So what is this 17? Where you will put? 17 is for laborers, no? So what is for laborers? Y. So Y, when Y is equal to 17, what will be X? What will be the remuneration is asked. Substitute it here. X we don't know, so I'll write X upon Y is 17 is equal to, how much is constant? Constant will be same for all the sums, 250. Cross multiply, so therefore X is equal to 250 into 17. Multiply, working column, 250 into 17. 7 zeros are 0, 7 5s are 35, carry 3, 7 2s are 14, 17. 1 0 is a 0, 5 and 5, 2 1s are 2, 12 1. So we got 4250. Please check. You also calculate and see. Sometimes I make calculation mistake. 4250. So we got 4250 rupees. X, no? So this is a word problem. So we will write the final answer in statement. The question asked is, find the remuneration for 17 laborers. The remuneration of 17 laborers will be rupees 4250. Okay? Understood? For 4 laborers, they paid 1000. So for more laborers, that is 17 laborers, they will pay obviously more than 1000. So we got 4250 rupees. I hope children you understood direct variation very well. Take time, go through each and every sum, practice it well. We need it for further entrance test. Okay, so not only for 8th standard, for various general knowledge questions also for competitive exams, this sort of sums will be asked. All the best, solve it. If you liked the video, please hit the like button so that I come to know that my students are understanding what I teach. You can also share it with your friends, and please subscribe so that whenever I post a lesson, you will get the notification. Thank you, my dear children. Have a good day. Bye. See you in the next video.